मैं उस देश की नागरिक हूँ जहाँ छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज और अशोक सम्राट जैसा राजा था। मैं उस देश की नागरिक हूँ जहाँ हर 50 मील पर रूप, पहनावा और मजहब बदल जाता था। मैं उस देश की नागरिक हूँ जहाँ डाल डाल पर सोने की चिड़िया को पाया जाता था। मैं उस देश की नागरिक हूँ जिसे अपने भूगोल से पहले इस पूरे ब्रह्मांड का भूगोल नजर आता था। A very phonetic morning to respected Elizabeth Ma'am, Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar, and a great welcome to my all viewers. This is Anu Singh, and today I am going to speak on the topic Indian Education Commission 1964 to 1966. Education has always been accorded an honored place in Indian society. The great leaders of Indian freedom movement has realized a fundamental role of education, and they have given attention to education as a factor vital to national progress, security, and development. For this development, Indian education system needs a reconstruction or almost a revolution. Then there is a need to establish a commission who brings effectiveness in education at all stages in each aspects. Let us begin our presentation and let's see that how education commissions suggested or recommended the following provisions for secondary stage.
Kothari Commission recommendations for secondary school education. These are the following agenda according to which the presentation will be going on. So the first one, appointment of the Kothari Commission, report of the Commission, aims of education by the Commission, how children will learn, like educational structures, curriculum with the inclusion of subject area and reforms, guidance and counseling, vocationalization, work experience, training institutions, evaluation, and last, conclusion. So, appointment of the Kothari Commission. National Education Commission 1964 to 1966, popularly known as Kothari Commission, was an ad hoc commission set up by the Government of India to examine all aspects of the educational sector in India, to evolve a general pattern of education and to advise guidelines and policies for the development of education in India. It was formed on 14th July 1964 under the chairmanship of Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari, then chairman of the University Grants Commission. The terms of references of the commission was to formulate the general principles and guidelines for the development of education from primary level to the highest and advise the government on a standardized national pattern of education in India. Report of the Commission. So the first one is the Commission began its work on 2nd October 1964, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. Second, it constituted 12 task forces and 7 working groups for studying the various problems of education in the country. Third, it interviewed about 9,000 men and women distinguished in public life, educators, scientists, industrialists, and scholars from different fields who interested in education. Fourth, the commission spent about 100 days in visiting universities, colleges, schools, and held discussion with teachers, educationists, administrators, and students. Fifth, it was the 6th commission in India post-independence, and first commission with comprehensive terms of references. Sixth, the commission worked for 21 months and submitted its 287-page report on June 29, 1966. The future of the country depends completely on education, and this we can easily understand that the report is entitled as Education and National Development. Moving forward to our concentration towards aims of education by the Commission, or we can say the four main themes by the Kothari Commission. So the first one is education for increasing productivity, and here the following provisions are: by making science a basic component of education and culture, by introducing work experience as an integral part of general education, vocational education to meet the needs of the industry of agriculture, and by improving scientific and technological research. Second one, education for accelerating modernization, and here the provisions are: by adopting new methods of teaching, by awakening the curiosity, attitudes and values as essential skills. Third, education for social and national integration. So according to Kothari Commission, achievement of social and national integration is an important objective of educational system because it is the basis of a strong and united country. So the Commission suggests the provisions like common school system, in which the students can learn irrespective to their caste, creed, community, religion, economic conditions or social status. Second, encouraging and enabling students to participate in community living on the school or college compounds, and also providing opportunities of participation in programs of community development and national service. Third, through development of an appropriate language policy. Fourth, education for social, moral and spiritual values. And here the provisions are: by introducing moral, social and spiritual values into the students, and also presenting before students high ideas of social justice and social service. Next, moving forward, that how children will learn. Like here we will discuss the educational structure at secondary stage. So the Education Commission made the following significant recommendations regarding the educational structures and standards. So the structures divided basically in three parts. The first is primary stage, where the structure and duration is divided into a primary stage of general education of 7 to 8 years. Second, lower secondary stage. Here the structure and duration of 2 or 3 years of general education or 1 to 3 years of vocational education. Third, higher secondary stage. Here the structure and duration is of 2 years of general education and 1 to 3 years of vocational education. Next, curriculum at secondary stage. So the Commission believed that the broad areas of curricular studies for the secondary stage can be studied under two categories. The first one is lower secondary stage and the second one is higher secondary stage. In lower secondary stage, there are provisions of 3 language formula, in which the pupils in Hindi areas will study Hindi, English and a modern Indian language, while the vast majority of the pupils in non-Hindi areas will learn the regional language Hindi and English with the inclusion of following subjects like mathematical studies, science, social studies, art, physical education, work experience and moral studies. Similarly, for the higher secondary stage, there are provisions of 2 languages, either modern Indian or foreign languages or classical languages, with the selection of any 3 subjects from the following, like 1 additional language, history, economic, logic, geography, psychology, sociology, art, physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, geology, and home science, with the inclusion of the compulsory subjects like art, physical education, work experience, and moral studies. Next, reforms in curriculum. Kothari Commission suggested the following reforms in school curriculum. So the first one is research in curriculum. Here research is very helpful in the preparation of textbooks and teaching learning material. Next, in-service education of teachers. So Kothari Commission believes that teachers should be oriented to the revised curricula through the in-service teacher training education. Third, freedom to school to adopt experimental curricula. That is, schools should be given freedom to devise and experiment with new curricula suited to their needs. Next, preparation of advanced curricula. So the Commission suggests that the State Board of Education should prepare advanced curricula in all subjects. Fifth, plan for diversification of curricula. Here, there should be a definite plan for diversification of curricula. Next, defining the standard of attainment. The Commission suggests that the standard of attainment should be clearly defined at the end of each sub-stage. Next, emphasis on science and math education. So according to Commission, science and mathematics should be compulsory in first 10 years of schooling. Science teaching should be linked with technology in urban areas and with agriculture in rural areas. Next, emphasis on manual work. The Commission lays stress on manual work at all stages of education. It should take various forms like shop training in lower secondary stage and experience in school workshop, farm or commercial at higher secondary stage. Next, effective program of social studies. As the Commission recommends that an effective program of social studies is essential for the development of good citizenship and emotional integration. Next, a special plan for teaching languages. The Commission has modified 3 languages and suggests that it should be studied from class 8, but not on compulsory basis. Last, continuous improvement of textbooks. So the Commission believes that a textbook should be continuously revised and kept up to date. Moving forward to our next topic, which is guidance and counseling. There is indisputably a great need of guidance and counseling in our schools from educational, vocational, psychological and social point of view. The complex social, economic, political and educational structure has made guidance and counseling a necessity. The aims of guidance are both adjunctive and developmental. It helps the students in making the best possible adjustment to the situations in the educational institutions and in the home. So guidance should be regarded as an integral part of education. One of the main functions of guidance at the secondary stage is to help the adolescent pupils in their identification and development of the abilities and interest. Guidance will also help teachers and headmasters to understand their students and as individuals. It also helps to gain information about educational and vocational opportunities. Let us discuss guidance at the secondary stage. So the Commission made following recommendations in the respect. The first one is minimum guidance service to all secondary schools. So here Commission talks about that there should be one visiting school counselor for every 10 schools located within a reasonable distance of one another. Next, comprehensive guidance service in selected schools. That is, a comprehensive guidance service should be set up in a few carefully selected schools, preferably one in each district. Next, provision of necessary supervisory staff. So a supervisory staff should be appointed in the Staff Bureau of Guidance. Next, understanding of concepts and techniques of guidance. So it is necessary that all secondary school teachers should be given some understanding to guidance concepts and simple guidance techniques. Last, professional training of guidance workers. So Commission talks about that adequate arrangements should be made for the professional training of guidance workers. Next, we will discuss vocationalization at secondary stage. So, Indian Education Commission made the following recommendations for implementing vocationalization of education. So, at lower secondary stage, the following courses can be organized for students who leave school at the end of class 7 or 8. First, reducing the age of admission. Second, terminal courses in technical schools. Third, wide range part-time courses. Fourth, to improve professional efficiency and general education. Fifth, home science for girls. And at higher secondary stage, the Commission has recommended the following types of vocational courses. The first one is full-time and part-time vocational courses in industry. Second, short condensed courses. Third, expansion of courses in industrial training institutes. Fourth, developing a wide range of other courses. Fifth, a special section for organization of courses. Sixth, central grants. Next, we will discuss work experience at secondary stage. So, Indian Education Commission defines work experience as participation in productive work in a school, in home, in a workshop, in a farm, in a factory, or in other productive situations. But for our purpose, work experience shall be any participating activity in the productive work, in any productive situations arranged through the school. So the work experience suggested by the Commission for these two stages are: at lower secondary stage, there should be workshop training, which included activities like woodwork, metal work, model making, making simple scientific equipment, preserving, weaving, classroom decorations, crop care, care of the soil, etc. And at higher secondary stage, there should be work experience in farms, commercial or industrial concerns. As many of the activities listed at the lower secondary stage should be continued at this stage also, but emphasis should shift to workshop practice of actual work experience in industrial or commercial concerns or on farms. Next, training institutions at secondary stage. So here the Commission suggests the following for improving the quality of training institutions for the secondary teachers. The first one is better qualification of staff. So the Commission suggests that the staff of secondary training colleges should have a double master's degree in an academic subject and in education. Second, appointing qualified specialists. Qualified specialists in subjects like psychology, sociology, science, or mathematics may be appointed even if they have no professional training. Third, selecting most competent persons. It is essential that the best and the most competent person will be selected for the faculty of training institutions. Fourth, organizing summer institutes. So, the Commission suggests that an adequate programs of summer institutes should be organized for the in-service education of the training institutions staff. Last, rules for teaching a subject. So, there is a rule that teachers in secondary schools will ordinarily teach only those subjects which they had studied at a college level. If they are required to teach subjects other than those they have studied, or they should take a special course therein either by correspondence or in by summer institutes. Next, we will discuss evaluation at secondary stage. So, according to Indian Education Commission report, evaluation is a continuous process which forms an integral part of the total system of education and is intimately related to educational objectives. It exercises a great influence on the pupils' study habits and the teacher's method of instruction, and thus helps not only to measure educational achievement but also to improve it. So the following recommendations were made by the Commission for the secondary stage. The first one is in external examinations. So external examinations should be improved by raising the technical competence of paper setters, orienting question papers to objectives other than the acquisition of knowledge, improving the nature of questions by adopting scientific scoring procedures and the processing of results. Second, certificates given by the boards and school. So the certificates issued by a state board of school education should give the candidate's performance in different subjects for which he has appeared, and there should be no remark to the effect that he has passed or failed in the whole examination. The candidate should be permitted to appear again if he or she so desires for the entire examination or for separate subjects in order to improve his performance. Third, establishment of experimental schools. A few selected schools should be given the right of assessing their students themselves and holding their own final examination at the end of class 10, which will be regarding as equivalent to the external examinations of the State Board of School Education. Fourth, methods of internal assessment. Internal assessment by school should be comprehensive and evaluate all aspects of student development that are measured by the external examinations, and also those personality traits, interests and attitudes which cannot be assessed by it. Next, higher secondary examination, that is the first external examination should be held at the end of class 10 and second examination should come after class 12. Next, evaluation machinery. The comprehensive program of evaluation that we have described above require for its implementation a well-organized machinery both at the state and central level. Finally, after reaching at the conclusion, we can say that Indian Education Commission has been held as an encyclopedia on Indian education. It is a unique, bold, pertinent, comprehensive, critical, categorical, realistic, revolutionary, formative, and constructive report of the education system prevailing in the country. The Commission recommended a number of programs and gave practical suggestions to streamline all the items and overall the system of education so as to make it a powerful instrument of national development and national reconstruction.
Now it's time for me to present my vote of thanks to respected Elizabeth ma'am. I really appreciate that how you have always been so friendly and so supportive of all of my efforts. Working for you has always been so enjoyable, and I have learned always and grown a lot. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again, and thank you all.